Coach, if you could just start by introducing yourself and the players you have up here with you today.
Okay, Todd Fitzgerald, Stoneman Douglas High School. To my left here is Hunter Fitzgerald, third baseman, Kyle Yeward, and to my right is Gabe Cabrera.
I wanted to start by talking, every single team at this point in the year, obviously the goal is to win a state championship. You're someone that knows what that's like. If you could just share what it's like to take a team up to the state titles and to win them.
It's hard work. It's a lot of preparation during the course of the year. Fine tuning, finding out what your team's made of, keeping guys on the right path. Making sure that they're playing each game like it's its own. Playing every pitch like it's the last pitch of a game. Just trying to get those guys to stay in the moment for 7 innings of a ball game is hard. So it's really all about focus and execution and the things that we do within our system. So as long as they do that, then we feel that we're always going to have a chance to be successful in the course of a game.
And just like you said, your system, that's one of the things that I really enjoy and I wanted to talk a little bit about is, especially this year, because I noticed you've got a huge JV team, and you just had a really nice system that's kind of been built in the years that you've been here. If you can just kind of talk about the program that you've been able to put together here at Douglas.
Well, again, it just goes back with, the JV guys running the exact same stuff that we do on the varsity. So when those guys transition to the varsity level, they're not having to be retaught. They're just having to get up to game speed. The terminology is the same. The lingo is the same. Our coaching staff coaches both varsity and JV. I don't know if a lot of coaching staffs do that around the county. So we spend as much time with our JV as we do with these varsity guys. So we all have the same input, and those kids are getting the same message from the time they're freshmen to when they're seniors.
And really, these three guys are really great examples of it. I could really ask any of these three. I'll kind of open it up to any that want to respond. You were those young players when you first came in. Now you're those older guys. What's that like for you working with the young guys and having gone through that process yourself?
It's fun. It's fun because you gotta pretty much just going back to teaching them what we learned and what we did to become to this point. And pretty much just the basics and buying into the program and stuff like that.
I think, what was it, 5, 6 college signees this year?
9.
9?
No.
All 3 of these guys, right?
Yeah.
What's that like to, just take me through that moment and getting to do that, especially with that many guys on the team with you?
Well, it's just great. It's just great, to be honest, because it all comes of preparation, the preparation we do course of the summer, great coaching staff, just great atmosphere to be around, and like to get the opportunity to sign with your teammates that it's day in, day out grind. It's just they turn into brothers, and like it was just an incredible experience to be with them signing that day. It was just a special day.
And, again, Douglas has got big name players now playing in the pros. You've had a lot of guys, every year there's signees, it's really kind of adds your year to the legacy of the program. Is that something you guys think about or talk about a lot?
Yeah, they come back and help with us, and they'll come out, spend time with us at practice in the field and hitting and talk to us and everything. So that's good that they come back and still care.
Do you think that's something maybe you see yourself as you get older and you progress past your baseball years that I look forward to being that guy coming back as well?
Yeah, I think all of us pretty much do. We love just to be around the field and the game and just being around the teammates.
Yeah, and especially with this program, there's more of that here than maybe at other programs. What's that like for you as a coach to have those guys coming back and helping out?
Well, it's awesome. Just like yesterday, Jesus Luzardo and Jake Mednick, and Mednick's with the Indians now, graduated FAU last year, and Jesus is probably going to be a big leaguer, hopefully out of spring training. But those guys came in through to these guys yesterday so they could get their work in, getting prepared to go next week, right? So, just to have that, and guys like Tuki Toussaint, even though Tuki didn't play here, he still comes around, and Luis Silverio is another one who signed with the Diamondbacks. He was here yesterday, and some former guys that graduated to come back and support us. And, the thing I can say about, these guys, and Gabe especially, the the leadership that he's taken as far as mentoring the younger kids in the program. He's constantly talking to those young kids in the outfield and in the dugout. I made a comment after practice the other day about, I can hear you, trying to help those guys. And I wish, it doesn't happen all the time, but the senior class here that has been here, and these guys have been with me since they were infants. So, for them to take those younger guys under their wing and kind of show them how we do things, it's kind of important that those guys, we have a standard, so you have to uphold the standard that is set by this team. So we always tell them every year, how do you want to leave your legacy? What is your legacy going to be? Is it going to be that team that came up short again, or is it going to be that team that gets over the hump this time for once? And we're not letting anything slide, and we just had a long talk out there. I thought our IO was terrible. I thought our energy was terrible. The pitchers were supposed to do some things. They didn't do it. So, we're not letting anything slide. They each have to hold themselves accountable as well, because if we're going to get to where we want to go, then you cannot take that day off that it's your day to get better. And we want to get better every day, and that's the key.
And again, going back to like you were saying with the program, almost that passing of the torch every year.
Mm-hmm.
Those big name guys that you mentioned, that was a time when they were doing that. They kind of passed the torch.
Right.
Seems to be a very important part of the process with your program, especially as you integrate those younger players.
Well, I think it's important. I think it's important when you get guys that graduate your program, they come back, right? It shows that they appreciate and respect what they've gotten over the course of their time here. So when those guys come back and give back, I think it shows these guys that, hey man, these coaches and these players in this program has a certain standard. I mean, I think we're the only school in Broward County that's been to 5 straight regional finals.
Yeah, it was
right?
going to actually be the next thing I was going to talk to you about.
But that's not our goal. Our goal is to get to the Final Four and win a state championship. And I think we have, on paper, we have the makings to do that. But these guys have to put the time in. And like I said, we didn't do that very good this morning. And thank God nobody was out there, because it was pretty embarrassing.
Just like you said, again, regional final, I think was where you guys were last year. What's going to be some of those little tweaks, the little differences that these guys can make, again, cleaning up some of the things that you're unhappy with today?
Well, number one, I think our chemistry on this team is tremendous. These guys have been together for a long period of time. They've played together for a long period of time. They know each other. They're a very close-knit group. They have fun at practice. And they're also verbal, and they're vocal. And I don't think to a man that they're going to allow one person to take time off if it's going to affect the overall success of our team. And we always tell our guys, you're playing for the name in the front. That's why we don't put names on the back of our jerseys. It's all about the name in the front and what you're representing and the standard that you are expected to uphold, how you play the game, how you go about your business. All those things about being a professional, because as you know, we produce professionals out of here. So we want them to try and strive to be that professional one day. And when they go off to college, they're prepared for that next level. They are prepared to the highest end for the next level. That's why they have a lot of success down the road.
Just like I think you probably are the one that knows as well as anybody practices at Douglas. I'm a big fan, but if you can kind of take me through the specific regimes and just a lot of the unique things that you guys do that build the program the way that it is.
Well, we pretty much have the same routine every single day, and they try to make us get it to perfection until it's right, and then we'll move on. We start off with our team stretching, and then we'll go into base running.
Let's not give the full details.
That would not ask.
But
just talk about the process and how well that prepares you, to accomplish the things that you've said.
Well, practicing that
without
stuff,
giving away all the secrets.
Practicing that stuff that much and that often, it's gonna make us get it right in the game the first time when they give the sign, and to perform the play right the first time so we can get the out in a certain situation that we need it.
And especially with a program like this, you guys have been in the system for a lot longer. There's some really interesting, some complex stuff that you guys occasionally run. I think last year you guys ran one of those type of plays. What's that like for you guys as players, being trusted to be taught stuff like that, and the coaches are like, hey, you can execute this in the game. We're not afraid to call it.
It's just work ethic. It comes down to work ethic and comes down that we come every single day after 240 to give 100%. You know what I mean? And coaches give us the trust, and we give them the trust to execute any play that we need to execute. And it could be the worst team or it could be the best team, and if we need that run, we're gonna execute no matter what. And that's all it is, work ethic.
I think some of the defense, what's it like as a pitcher when you see your defense pull one of those plays and maybe get it out for you, help you get off the mound?
Well, putting the play in.
I mean, the plays that kind of start everything, it starts in practice. They may look like they're jokes, they may look funny, but at the end of the day, when you're in a struggle, runners on second and third, whatever type ball game, it can work, and it has worked. So it just shows that repetition or whatever will help, and it will succeed at the end when it's called.
Wanted to finish up and talk about because I think it's coming up pretty quick for you guys. You guys got the Tournament of Champions.
Yeah.
Talk about that experience. You know, it's a long road trip, and it's been some tough teams that you start off with early in the year.
Yeah, I think I was looking at the PBR yesterday. They came out with the top 25 in the state, and we're not in it. So that right there is motivation in itself. Perfect Games got us, I think, 30th in the country and 7th in the state. So I kind of take a little offense to it, but you know, I also understand we play 9 teams in that top 25 that are on our schedule. I think we play the toughest schedule in the state. Number one, our first 6 games are Coral Park, Flanagan, Calvary Christian, Venice, North Florida Christian, and Trinity Christian. So we're going to find out early what we're made of. But at the end of the day, it's not how you start anyway; it's how you finish. So the record really is about the coach. You know, I have 8 wins to get 400, so that's a milestone this year. So hopefully we'll get it, you know, sooner than later. But at the end of the day, it's about the process and where we want to be at the end. And these guys, they've all played at the highest level in the biggest games. So putting that schedule together with the experience that we have wasn't ever a question. I want to play the best people. In order to be the best, you have to play the best. So that's our goal. And don't worry about the result, but we have to worry about the process of what we're trying to do throughout the course of the season. A lot of coaches schedule teams so they can have a great record. It doesn't matter. I know that if we're prepared and we do the things that we're supposed to do every day in practice, then we're always going to have a chance to be successful. We may win some, we may lose some, but we're always going to have a chance to be in a game at the end. So that's important. You know, like I said, experience, leadership. You know, going to the Tournament of Champions last year, you know, we weren't prepared for that. You know, after everything that had happened, we just weren't prepared. And we went up there and we lost 2 very close one-run games, and we had to play bowls. We went extra innings and then had to turn around and play 45 minutes later at Trinity, and we were just out of gas, emotionally, physically, everything, and we got beat up pretty good. So, but with that being said, it was a great trip for us for our bonding, and we came back. I think we came home and won 16 out of our last 18 or whatever, some kind of run like that. But and then it, you know, again, we carried it over into the playoffs, and we did what we had expected to do. We just came up short in the end. So that's all you can really ask is, what is your goal? Our goal is to get to that regional final every year, to get to the state Final Four, and ultimately win a state title. So that's the main goal, and it's going to start with these guys. You know, my son included, Kyle, Gabe, all the seniors that we have, Kevin
You got a
Heinrich.
lot of seniors this year.
We got
too.
9 seniors. You know, so you know, it's all going to start with them, and if they police the team, you know, instead of the coaches always having to police it, then we're going to be fine. And if we're all on the same page, and like you say, you know, we have each other's backs night in and night out, win, lose, or draw. As long as they give 100% every day when we play, then that's all we can ask for. And let the chips fall where they may.
Well, here's the chips falling. It's pretty cool. I didn't realize that, but what a cool opportunity this year. 8 wins away. You know, it's your senior year. You guys might be able to, obviously, most likely, we'll be able to share that together. What would that mean to you to be on the team and help, you know, earn number 400 for your father?
That'd be pretty cool. I'm proud of him for that, and it's good success for him throughout his coaching career to get to this point. Not a lot of coaches have.
Well, guys, that's everything that I have for you. I appreciate you very much for
Okay.
coming, and here's the best of luck to have a great season, and hopefully
Amen.
next time we do this, we'll be up there at the state tournament.
Sure.
Hope so. Hope so.
Thank
All right,
you.
thanks.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks,
Sure.
Rick. Appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you. See you guys.
Thanks, man.
Hunter.
Thank you.
See you guys.